Lobo. Rebecca Lobo this past Sunday, Indiana Fever vs. Dallas Wings on ESPN. When it comes to announcers speaking out, this might have been the most outspoken announcers have been when it comes to the egregious officiating, but more importantly, the non-calls. When Caitlin Clark is getting grabbed, getting held, getting yanked, getting hugged, getting hacked. Rebecca Lobo said, okay, Sunday, July 13th, I'm going to make sure it's my mission that when I start calling this game, I start calling a spade and holding these referees to.
Did Ryan Ruocco and Rebecca Lobo just pull back the curtain on WNBA officiating? Live on air? What began as routine commentary quickly escalated into a truth grenade, spotlighting how Caitlin Clark is getting fouled like she's in a WWE ring while the refs seem content to play spectator. Blink and you might have missed it, but we didn't. Strap in because this broadcast just morphed into a legal drama and someone's about to catch a permanent timeout. Let's run the tape.
Finally, they're saying the quiet part out loud. It's a little bit hard to see. She's literally grabbing her arm. It's insane, and none of that was called. Finally, at the end of the one play, they called the foul because it was like indisputable. I mean, she got whacked on the arm and then gets hit to the ground. But they weren't going to call any of the other fouls leading up to it. I mean, this is what Caitlin Clark...
It's not only Caitlin Clark, but somehow it's always Caitlin Clark. Game after game, like clockwork. As predictable as death, taxes, and WNBA refs suddenly forgetting how whistles work the moment she gets bulldozed on a fast break. It's gotten so absurd that fans are out here searching, is Caitlin Clark legally allowed to be tackled mid-dribble? Like there was a secret rule change dropped by WNBA HQ while no one was looking.
Oh, straight calling them out, man. Straight calling them out. And I expected it, because they are straightforward and they speak highly of Caitlin. So when they see the nonsense, man, of course they're going to say something. And I believe most of the commentators should be like that, man. Just keep it real, fam. Keep it real. Call it how you see it. And, whether the WNBA likes it or not, the commissioner likes it or not, Kathy likes it or not, speak your mind, man. That's what people want. They want the truth. So, man, shout out to Ruocco, man. Shout out to Ruocco. Shout out to Rebecca Lobo.
Let's be fair. Other players get fouled. Absolutely. But when it happens to Caitlin Clark, there's this strange, almost ritualistic vibe to it. Not just a foul, an assault, while the entire arena, from the hardwood to the nosebleeds to the commentary booth, collectively winces. And yet, the refs still chewing their imaginary gum, unfazed. Meanwhile, Caitlin's getting hauled up and down the court like she owes rent and forgot to pay. At this point, you have to wonder if the officials are watching an entirely different sport. Maybe underwater polo or elite level dodgeball, because it sure isn't basketball.
Ryan Ruocco, Mr. You Bet himself, and Rebecca Lobo ended up bringing up how players have been getting away with fouling Caitlin Clark live on television. Right here, they're talking about this right here, where JJ was holding the arm, okay? Then they're talking about this moment right here too, right? She's reaching through the body, reaching both sides, both arms through the body right here. So they're talking about this one. They're talking about right here on the swat down. It looked like she hit her hand just a tap.
And the wildest part, it's not just happening in the paint. That would almost make sense. That would be normal. But Caitlin's not just getting hammered in the last 15 feet like a knight charging through a moat of flying elbows. She's getting swarmed the second she touches the ball. From inbound to inbound, it's a 94-foot gauntlet where the real battle isn't with the defense. It's with officiating that seems to have developed a severe allergy to the laws of physics and basic contact fouls.
Caitlin Clark does not get her foul calls pointed out when they are actually fouling her left and right, all the way from half court all the way down to the basketball hoop. I don't understand how the referees are standing there and they not call the fouls. Her coaches have complained. Even Caitlin Clark gets on the referees of not calling the fouls when she knows.
What makes it even more maddening is the inconsistency. One night, a hand check is a flagrant. The next, a forearm to the ribs is just good hustle. You'll see a player get ejected for a wrist tap, then watch Caitlin Clark get body slammed with no call. Just a ref staring off like they saw a butterfly. It's not officiating, It's improv. Now, picture trying to explain this to a new fan. You hype up Caitlyn as one of the best in the game, and then watch her get bulldozed before half court. No whistle, just chaos. Meanwhile, the announcers are cracking live on air, trying to stay composed while clearly losing it. That's why Ryan Ruocco and Rebecca Lobo's reaction hit so hard. For once, someone on the mic stopped pretending this was normal. Caitlyn got folded, again, and they finally said what fans have been screaming for seasons. Are y'all seeing this? It was less commentary, more therapy, and it was overdue.
You think the old 46,000 fans had enough of a voice? No, they don't got no voice. The new fans need to speak up. The announcers who aren't scared need to speak up. I'm sure a lot of those old announcers are scared. I'm sure they're scared. But the announcers like Rebecca Lobo, Ryan Ruocco, they need to step up and say, oh, the officiating that's going on here isn't okay.
Let's be honest, this isn't new. It's not a bad week, it's a multi-season saga. Fans who have been watching long before Caitlyn Clark know the feeling. The only difference now? It's in HD on national TV with millions watching in disbelief. And the WNBA knows. They've got the footage, the angles, the data. This isn't ancient rocket science, it's fixable. Train the refs, call the fouls, hold people accountable. Revolutionary, right? The league says it wants growth, respect, and visibility. But none of that sticks if fans are watching star players get hacked 30 times before halftime. It's like going to a concert where the sound system's broken and everyone just pretends it's fine.
Yeah. Unlike some other players, Asia Wilson. Every time you touch Asia Wilson, she's going through the free throw line. And the announcers definitely will say she's one player that gets a lot of fouls called on her, and she goes to that free throw line. Breanna Stewart, she gets a lot of foul call.
Caitlyn Clark is out here fighting through triple teams, getting decked mid-step while the ref stands 6 feet away. Blinking, not blowing the whistle, just blinking like they're buffering reality. Meanwhile, the broadcast zooms in as she's shoved into the scorer's table like a piñata. The crowd groans, the announcers flinch, and the slow-mo replay shows every frame of contact. Still, no call. Maybe the ref had their AirPods in, maybe they were on a no-call cleanse. Who knows? This isn't about special treatment, it's about basic officiating. No one's asking for bubble wrap, just consistent enforcement of the rules. Is that really too much? Because right now, watching her play feels like basketball in a haunted house. Every 5 seconds something jumps out and the refs pretend they saw nothing. And spare us the rookie treatment excuse. She's not a bench warmer. She's the number one pick, a walking billboard. The reason half these arenas have wait lists. Yet she's officiated like someone crashed the game in a fake jersey and no one wants to call it out.
About something, and Paige Beckers in an interview literally exposed just how bad the referee's problem is. Like, she just exposed how bad it was in a pre-game interview for the game. I couldn't find the audio part of it, but Ryan Ruocco literally said she had to forget. So basically, she had to relearn how to play defense while fouling. So, you know, everything you learn about defense, how to play while not fouling, how to move your feet, how to do all this, she had to throw out all the good defensive fundamentals that she'd learned.
This isn't about favoritism, it's about credibility. Fans shouldn't feel like they're watching chaos disguised as basketball. You can't preach parity and progress while your biggest stars get tossed around like dodgeballs. Pick a lane, preferably one where fouls actually get called. The fact that TV announcers had to be the adults in the room says it all. They're the ones quietly calling out the obvious nonsense while the refs stay silent. They didn't have to go off script, but they did because it was impossible to ignore. We're all watching the same game, yet the only people who can't see what's happening are the ones with whistles. Now, fans are bracing for the next hackfest like it's a sport within a sport. Will Caitlyn get hip-checked into a cooler, slapped and awarded free throws for defense? Who knows? It's a chaos mystery box wrapped in a referee's shrug. All anyone wants is fairness. Not handouts or diva treatment, just consistent, accountable officiating. If it's a foul on player X, it should be a foul on player Y, no matter how many followers or sponsorships player Y has. Ignoring the hits she takes isn't letting her play, it's letting her get played. So here we go again, Caitlyn hitting the floor more than the basket, and the refs treating it like an interpretive dance. But now the announcers are calling it out. Fans are furious. The evidence is clear. The league has a choice. Fix it or keep pretending everything's fine while your most marketable star gets turned into a crash test dummy every night. Because here's the truth, it's not just Caitlyn, but somehow it is always Caitlyn. and it's starting to feel less accidental and more like a boardroom decision. For those who've watched long enough to track the madness, the elephant in the arena is hard to ignore. It feels like the league told refs to just let her get rocked. Yep, that's the vibe. And the craziest part? The most damning evidence isn't angry fans or Reddit threads, it's live on the broadcast. When Rebecca Lobo, calm, polished, legendary, starts subtly dragging the refs while still holding the mic, you know it's bad.
Seen before in the women's game, in particular in the women's college game. And we've had great players. We just haven't had this mix of a player who does something we've never seen before in the women's college game in terms of the logo threes. Every time the stakes raise and it feels like, oh geez, there's got to be a lot of pressure on this kid, a lot of pressure.
And Ryan Ruocco, he's trying to stay smooth, towing the line, but even he can't believe what he's seeing anymore. You can hear it in his voice. Every time Caitlin gets clobbered and the refs stay silent, there's this brief hesitation, like his brain is buffering before he lets out an or a wow. It's code for, I want to keep my job, but seriously? He's watching someone get folded like a deck chair and all he can do is narrate the absurdity with polite horror. It's gotten so bad that Rebecca Lobo, who could probably neutrally call a meteor crashing onto the court, has started openly calling out the refs. Not with fan rage or shouting, but with that calm, no-nonsense teacher voice that says, you're failing and you're blaming the student. She's not yelling. She's pointing, circling the problem with a Sharpie and saying, this is not okay. Because let's be honest, it's not just that whistles are late or inconsistent, they're deliberately silent when it comes to Caitlin Clark. A player could throw a shoulder, elbow, and knee at her in one possession, and the refs just stare off like they're lost in thought. And who's noticing? Everyone. Even the most objective voices in the sport, Rebecca and Ryan, who are supposed to call the game, not the conspiracy. But even they can't ignore what's become painfully obvious.